And it's like why LinkedIn is so important in today's sales outbound environment. Ashley, you mentioned some of the it's tough today. Sales is probably harder than it's ever been, and I think that's why sales outbound is LinkedIn is so important to the multi-channel approach. So beyond some of the things we've already talked about, would love to hear why in your eyes LinkedIn is so important and why it's going to be continue to be important as part of our outbound approach.
Yeah, I think, we'll dive into this a little bit more probably later, but in our prep for this, I mentioned like you can't talk about booking meetings using LinkedIn without talking about building your personal brand on LinkedIn. And so we are going to dive deeper into that. The reason this is really important and the reason this channel is really great, because you see it right here. There's 65 million users, and a lot of these are business decision makers, and people are spending time on it. Think about what you do during your day. Like I don't know, I won't make assumptions for everyone here, but like I'm on LinkedIn like a lot during the day, right? I'm doing research on accounts that I'm trying to break into. I'm doing research on personas I'm trying to get in contact with. I'm actively engaging with folks that I'm connected with in order to grease that wheel, so to speak. And then of course, creating my own content on LinkedIn. And all of this, it's like, I like to think of LinkedIn as it's a long game, nothing that we're going to talk about today is a silver bullet. Nothing that we're going to talk about today is going to be like, do these 3 things and you're going to book 5 meetings a month on LinkedIn. That's not going to happen. Sorry if that's what you're looking for. But yeah, why LinkedIn? Because that's depending on the industry you're selling into. If your buyers are there, it is one of the easiest ways to, like Saad mentioned, like build trust, build credibility. I used to give trainings to the new SDRs. Sorry, Mikey. I used to give trainings to the new SDRs at Chili Piper about how to build their brand. And one of the first things I would show them is an example of like a kind of a really busted profile of like no picture, no posts. It kind of looks, janky, whatever. And I'm like, if you got an email from this person, would you respond to them? No, probably not. Right. So that like I said, we'll talk a little bit more about that. And also another very easy reason why is, I don't know about y'all, but like email is so much harder than it ever has been. Calling has always been hard, but we're just facing a lot more challenges than I think we have in the past however many years. And so this is a channel that can help us jump over some of those hurdles.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. There's that number stands out to me, right? That 65 million users are on LinkedIn. Does it sometimes feel like we only see the same people over and over again, even if you start engaging with, hold on to that. That's the opportunity cost. You guys, we still have the first mover advantage for LinkedIn. What is the first mover advantage here right now? If you're in a specific space, you're building a new category, you bet the people that aren't here, that are your competitors, are not doing what you could potentially do. And you don't want to engineer perfection. The way to earn trust is you don't want to impress a VP of sales, right? Like that's, I'm not there yet. Somebody asked me, Saad, oh, do you write for VPs of sales? I'm like, clearly I do not. I'm not there yet. I'm just trying to write for the next Saad at every stage of his career. When Saad's becoming an SDR, when Saad's becoming an AE, that's helping me earn, like, there's a very specific niche that I work with. And as that niche is growing, my SDR niche is now becoming sales leaders. So my content is also evolving and things like that. I never also optimized to get 40,000 followers and things like that, et cetera, et cetera. My entire thing was, I was inspired by these people that were teaching stuff. And I was like, okay, one day I would like to do that as well. And it started as a joke for me. I was at this company called Dooley where Ashley and I had met. And everybody at the company was creating content. Ryan Scalera was making music videos. I was just coming from selling lawyers and finance leaders. And then I saw, wait, AEs are making music videos? This can happen? Now, I'm not encouraging everybody to go make music videos, right? Depends on who you're selling to and stuff, but just there's a lot of power and value in putting yourself out there because a lot of others aren't. And then getting to what content it should be, how you kind of frame it out, that will all come. We'll kind of cover it off. Again, it won't be a one-size-fits-all solution. Yeah, Mark was the one that actually got me at Dooley, and it was we used to joke about this, that the engagement we used to get at that time and the way we used to kind of manufacture that engagement, it was all built in-house. So yeah, we'll talk about it more. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, when we all went remote, LinkedIn became it became like a glorified virtual office for me. It actually, I really do enjoy making connections. It's difficult now. Everybody's inboxes is flooded, but it also became a personal thing for me that it was an escape where I made some money, which is wild. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think all of that is super insightful. And I think Ashley, both of you Ashley, you touched on how hard cold emailing is right now and how cold calling is. It's always going to be difficult. And the aspect of cold email, like the deliverability rates and breaking through the inbox. And Saad, to your point, if you're seeing the same people, if you are engaging effectively and you can get you're connected with the right individuals on LinkedIn and you're seeing the right posts, you are 100% guaranteed deliverability in some way, shape, or form, whether that is an engagement, a like, a comment, eventually a message, something. LinkedIn guarantees 100% deliverability and for you to get visibility. So I think those two things is, I didn't think about it in that sense, but you can alleviate some of the challenges you're experiencing in those other two channels by being super effective and diligent on LinkedIn. So I think that's really important as we start to talk to this and think about it.
100%.
Yeah, actually, oh, Ashley, you were saying something, or somebody was saying.
Agree. You go for it.
Yeah, no, we actually mapped out a lot of what we were doing around what Ashley and her team did at Chili Peppers. It was wild to know that SDRs were getting training at that time to just enable themselves on content and things like that. And I can't speak for Chili Pepper, but you know what that did for us when we tried doing that? By the time we used to cold call people, they'd be like, we don't know what Dooley is, but we hear about you guys all the time. What do you do again? Imagine that. They're half warmed up and ready for you on a cold call. Come on.
Happened all the time at Chili Pepper. Would be like, I don't chili, and they'd call us Chili Pepper, they'd be like, I don't know what you do, but I see you everywhere. And that was huge. It made it a lot easier to have that initial conversation for sure.